Have you ever dreamed of fresh eggs from your own backyard? Well, it may not be as difficult as you think. In today's video, we're going to go over 5 tips that every aspiring chicken owner should know. But first, before we get into today's video, I want to tell you about a $25 Tractor Supply gift card giveaway that we're doing. We're going to pick the winner on July 1st, 2023. So if you're watching this video after that date, check out our channel. We're planning to do many of these giveaways in the future. To enter the giveaway, you have to be subscribed and leave a comment below this video whether or not you have backyard chickens or what's holding you back from getting them. Again, if you're already subscribed, no worries, just leave the comment below. A random winner will be chosen on July 1st from the below comments. Let's get into it. All right, the first tip I want to talk about are the chick starter kits that you'll find at local feed stores and Tractor Supply. This is generally the size of water and feeders that they come with, and it works great for day-old and week-old chicks, and it's cute and convenient, but you'll soon realize that these chicks outgrow them fairly quickly. Here's a medium-sized one that I got shortly after that starter kit, and it works pretty well, but once my hens become full-grown adults, they busted through this pretty quickly as well, and now I've got an even larger one. So my first tip is to go ahead and plan for a long-term setup from the get-go. Go ahead and purchase all your full-size feeders and waters. The chicks will be fine. That way you'll save time and money at the beginning. Tip number 2 is do your research for which chicken breeds that you're going to want. Not all chickens are created equal. They have different climate adaptabilities. They have different temperament and behaviors. They have different egg production. They have different egg qualities. So what you're going to want to do is research the type of hen that you're looking for, whether it be if you're in a hot or cold climate, whether you want larger eggs or smaller eggs, more eggs, less eggs, whether you want a nice chicken that'll pick at your finger if you want to, or one that'll try to kill you. But the biggest thing is you're going to want to find chickens that's suitable for your setup and what you're needing. These here are mostly barred rock chickens. All of my chickens are relatively docile. They're pretty nice. They're pretty nice to each other as well, except for trying to take your finger off when you give them a piece of grass. But you're going to want to figure out what type of characteristics you want in your hens. Tip number 2, do as much research as you can on the breeds of chickens that you're looking at. The next tip I want to talk about, tip number 3, is the location of your chicken coop. Now, whether or not you plan on building a chicken tractor that's mobile or a stationary chicken coop, the location is going to play a vital role in maintaining a healthy flock. There's 2 main reasons: sunlight and ventilation. Ventilation is very important to keep the coop dry and to keep the chickens cool. It also helps with mitigating the buildup of ammonia in the coop, which can cause respiratory illnesses for your chickens. Next is sunlight. Sunlight is a natural disinfectant. It keeps the coop dry, and it also helps with egg production and the mood of the chickens. Allowing adequate access to natural light can keep your chickens on a balanced egg-laying cycle and make sure that they're healthy. Tip number 4 I want to talk about is choosing the right amount of hens that's going to be suitable for you. Now, my main point is to mention the amount of eggs you want, okay? And what I mean by that is you can always add chickens later. I feel a lot of times a lot of people get too many chickens than how many eggs they consume or can get rid of, and they find themselves with an excess of eggs, and they're giving away eggs to neighbors, friends, and families, and it kind of becomes a hassle because you don't want to waste that product. So pay attention when you research your breeds, what their egg productions are, and what you could guesstimate of how many eggs you can consume. Now, picking the right amount of hens or chickens for your coop also plays a role with the design and space of your chicken coop. Generally, there's a rule of around 10 feet of ground space for each chicken, but it can vary depending on breeds and the size of the chickens. But the main point I want to focus on is you don't want to find yourself with too many eggs or considering getting rid of chickens, because it's just a lot harder. It's a lot easier to get fewer chickens than you think and then grow your flock from there instead of having to cull or just focus on finding a new home for these eggs. I have 4 hens and it gives me plenty of eggs. I find myself often giving eggs away to our neighbors and having plenty of excess. So tip number 4, really focus on how many hens you're going to need in your situation. All right, tip number 5 is to go ahead and do it. Backyard chickens are super simple. It doesn't matter how much experience you have right now, you'll gain it on the fly. They're very easy, it's enjoyable, it's fun for the family, and you get tons of fresh eggs that come from your backyard and you know where they're sourced. So, go ahead and do it. If you liked today's video, go ahead and like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.